just when I thought the T&L hype was kind of chill until the open beta, today I just got sent the video of the Talandre reveal, and it is absolutely epic. Now, with the beta happening in July and the launch happening in September, Amazon and NCSoft are really dialing up sort of the visual content to wet our whistles ahead of the beta and the launch. Now, some of you guys will say to me, Dan, you have absolutely no right to be excited about this game. You played at launch and you quit. And I did. I did quit. And I haven't really been following the game on a deep level. I've been following it from a very casual gamer perspective, and what I want to do in this particular video is talk to you from someone who has a Discord full of people that are super excited about the game point of view, but also someone from a semi-casual point of view that's been following the development and the changes that have been happening since I stopped playing the Korean version of the game. Now, a little bit of backstory for you guys who are unaware. I played the Korean launch along with many of you guys, and it was absolutely one of the best MMO launches I think I've ever experienced. The sheer amount of people, the difficult content, the world bosses, it was just amazing. Now, a lot of those experiences we're not going to have on global because they've changed the way things have been done, but I absolutely had the best time. And as the months went by and, you know, accounts got banned and accounts got stolen and, you know, the drama happened, there became a gap for me personally, and a lot of other guys as well. There became a gap that became very unenjoyable, and that gap led from being able to put some money into the game, but more importantly, the botting side. And when you combine those two things together, it became completely shite. Now, with that being said, a lot of the issues I had were essentially the gear ceiling being so high that it took months and months and months to become kind of competitive if you fell behind. And for me personally, that was a huge issue. You know, I can log back into Guild Wars now and go into World v World and feel somewhat competitive. Yes, I'm going to be behind on particular archetypes or particular skills or particular gear, but the gear I grinded for all those hours way back then is still somewhat relevant because there is a sensible gear ceiling. This is what I found T&L to not have found quite quickly. Now, the gearing process is very enjoyable in T&L, and everything about it, to be honest, for me was very enjoyable. But what happened in my point of view is it took so long to get to the top. I mean, no one was there yet. I don't think the legendary weapons had dropped and people went at tier 2 and so on and so forth. But it took so long to get there that if you were paying money and botting, you essentially became so much higher than everybody else, and that catch-up game didn't really exist. So what has happened since then is that let's call it quality of life. The quality of life around the game has improved dramatically. So, you know, one great example is you can actually get some pretty competitive gear out of the Ant Dungeon now, so I've been told. And the way that you acquire gear is different to how it was before, and it's things like this that, in my opinion, they're allowing the gear ceiling to be acquired relatively sensibly rather than having to pay loads of money or play throughout the night, and I think that was a big issue for me. Now, I don't think it's been fully addressed, and I still think it's quite the grind, which is okay. Like, we want a grind in an MMO, but we also want the grind to be acquirable by people that don't have 12 hours a day playing, right? We would like, within 2 months' time, roughly, that's for argument's sake, I will be able to play the game for 2 months on and off every other night and get to a point where I can come and PvP with you guys. So that's one of the biggest things that's changed, allowing us to be competitive even if we, you know, are not paying shitloads of money and we're not botting. So essentially that's what happened on the Korean launch and to where we are now. Now, for you guys who are not aware, T&L is really a group focused or guild focused PvP game, and that's where it started. But over time they've actually started to introduce some really fun PvE. So even if you're not completely in to pure group based or small scale PvP, there is some very challenging PvE. One of the biggest highlights to me was the guild content. As running Pirate Gaming and being a part of a community that enjoys group based PvP, this game really appealed to us because there was so much variety when it came to group based PvP. That's from your event PvP, the open world PvP, like the dungeons at night time. They were super cool. And then all the way up to the siege wars, the rift stones, the boon stones, the tax delivery mission, albeit the one in Korea that we got a chance to play wasn't very good. There was such a variety of content that allowed you to keep things fresh from a small scale to a large scale, and you could be involved in it, whether you're a 10-man or a 100-man group. It was possible for you to get involved in these things, so that was why it was super appealing to us. Now, what are we expecting moving forward for beta? I'm hoping we get somewhat near the latest release for us to play on the beta, so a lot of the quality of life improvements brought into the game. The changes around the rift stones, the boon stones, the changes around the gearing. I'm super hopeful that these are within the game for the beta, so excited to try that out. And moving forward, today I saw the new zone. Now, we did see the new zone before, but full of mobs, and the expectation through this trailer is it's so bloody high. We also know, which I'm even more excited for, coming from Guild Wars 2, is that they're bringing essentially a World v World map out. The next map that they're bringing out, I believe this is the dragon map. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a dragon related map. So you're up in the mountains and it's a server v server type zone. I don't know how on earth this is going to happen. Maybe you enter it as a player and you are put on a team of 3 and you're like World v World and Guild Wars. If they do this, it is going to be nuts. Now, I have no expectations because I don't know what they're doing outside of the fact that it's a server v server. Now, this is far off. We've still got a bit of time for this one, but this is what we can expect moving forward. The PvE's gone better. It's more difficult. There's levels to the PvE, so you could spend hours and hours gearing up and just doing PvE. The PvP's gotten better. It's got more balanced. It's more sensible in the way you can't really get zerged all the time. Just what we can expect from Throne Liberty now is so much more from what we experienced at the launch. Now, I will take the launch experience and I'll cherish it because it was just mental. The amount of people that you saw in one zone because it wasn't limited was just crazy. And I would always look back at our videos and it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. And being a part of the first siege with 3,500 people was like I didn't even think this was possible, When we played some other games recently and the games are struggling with 100 people nearby, you just look at T&L and you're just like, this is a fucking MMO. Like, this is an MMO. Now, I'm going to be playing it from the van. I have no idea how it's going to go. I'm really hoping it's going to go quite well. I'm going to potentially have to kick the family out on launch. So I'm joking. But yeah, super excited about the launch. Super excited about the beta. We'll be playing the beta. Jump on the Discord. Come and sign up. We've got completely open recruitment on beta, so you guys can come and play with us for the first time if you haven't done so already. Yeah, sorry, it's a bit of a waffle of a video, but just for you guys who haven't really followed up with the news, I really appreciate you watching the previous T&L video. So it's kind of like a bit of an update on what to expect going into the beta and going into launch. But yeah, super hyped for this, and let's fingers crossed Amazon doesn't fumble this one, because T&L is a good game at its core. It is a bloody good game. So fingers crossed they just keep adding things, improving things. They got some big creators supporting them and pushing them. I know, obviously Canon went to that Q&A the other day, and lots of other people did as well. But yeah, super cool. Anyway, waffling time. Look forward to seeing you in T&L. Look forward to seeing the beta. Probably won't do any more content on T&L up until the beta, but yeah, super hyped, and yeah, see you on the next one.